Welcome back to Straight Talk with Abby, the audio series with no fluff, no false promises, just the real deal on what actually moves the needle. I'm Abby, and today I need to call out something that's been driving me crazy. I keep seeing people over 40 torturing themselves with planks and crunches, avoiding carbs like they're poison, and then wondering why their belly fat won't budge. Some of you are even gaining weight despite doing what every fitness guru told you to do. Look, I've got some uncomfortable news for you today because almost everything you've been told about losing belly fat after 40 is wrong. And worse than wrong, it's actually counterproductive. By the time we're done today, you'll know why your current strategy is backfiring and what you should be doing instead. Trust me, this is going to change how you think about fat loss completely. I had a client, let's call her Sarah, who came to me doing 45 minutes of cardio every morning, eating 1,200 calories a day, and doing 300 crunches every night before she went to bed. She looked at me with complete desperation and said, I am doing everything the internet told me to do, but I look worse than when I started. Sound familiar? Sarah's belly fat wasn't there because she was lazy or undisciplined. It was there because her cortisol levels were through the flippin' roof. Her insulin sensitivity was shot and her body was in full-on survival mode. And every single thing that she was doing was making those problems worse. Let me break down what's actually happening in your body after 40 because this is where science gets really fascinating and kind of terrifying at the same time. Picture this. You're 40 years old and your hormones are basically having a midlife crisis. For women, estrogen starts playing hide and seek. One day it's high, the next day it's MIA. When estrogen drops, your body starts storing fat more readily around your midsection instead of your hips and thighs. It's like your body said, you know what? I'm going to completely change the storage system without telling anyone. And for men, testosterone is slowly but steadily declining at about 1 to 2% per year after age 30. Lower testosterone doesn't just mean less muscle. It means your body becomes incredibly efficient at storing fat, especially visceral fat around your organs. Fun times, right? Now, this gets really interesting from a biochemical standpoint. Your fat cells, particularly the ones around your belly, aren't just passive storage units. They're metabolically active tissues that produce their own hormones and inflammatory compounds. Visceral fat actually produces more inflammatory cytokines than subcutaneous fat, which creates a vicious cycle where inflammation promotes more belly fat storage, which creates more inflammation. Now let's talk about cortisol, because this is where most people are completely sabotaging themselves without even realizing it. Cortisol is your primary stress hormone, and it has one job: to keep you alive during emergencies. The problem is that your body can't tell the difference between being chased by a tiger and being chased by work deadlines, family stress, and chronic dieting. When cortisol is chronically elevated, which it is for most people over 40, it literally reorganizes how your body stores fat. It activates an enzyme called 11-beta HSD1. I know, that's a mouthful. But it does this specifically in abdominal fat cells, which converts inactive cortisone into active cortisol right in your belly fat. And this is why stress literally goes to your gut. And chronic cardio and severe calorie restriction are massive stressors to your body. So when you're doing an hour of cardio every day while eating like a bird, you're essentially telling your body, hey, we're in a famine situation. And also, we need to run from predators constantly. Your body's response? Hold on to every calorie and store it around your midsection for easy access. As we age, our muscle cells become less sensitive to insulin. It's called sarcopenic insulin resistance. This means that when you eat carbs, instead of going to your muscles for energy, they can possibly get stored as fat. And guess where your body preferentially stores fat when insulin sensitivity is compromised? Yep, right around your belly. But muscle tissue is incredibly insulin sensitive. The more muscle mass you have, the better your body handles carbohydrates. This is why building and maintaining muscle after 40 isn't just about looking good. It's literally your metabolic insurance policy against belly fat. All right, enough with the doom and gloom. Let's start talking about what actually works because the science is incredibly clear once you understand the mechanisms. So let's forget the endless crunches and planks. Your core gets plenty of work during compound movements, and spot reduction is about as effective as trying to just tan your left arm. So instead, let's focus on movements that build the most muscle mass and create the biggest metabolic demand. Here's an example of a weekly template, okay? Do 2 to 3 full body strength sessions per week. Focus on those compound movements such as squats, deadlifts, rows, presses. Do 6 to 12 reps per set because this rep range is optimal for muscle growth after 40. Do 3 to 4 sets per exercise and then rest about 2 to 3 minutes between sets because yes, if you're lifting heavier weights, you really do need that amount of time for full recovery for quality reps. Why this works. Every pound of muscle you build increases your metabolic rate by about 50 to 100 calories per day. But more importantly, muscle tissue is incredibly insulin sensitive, which means better carb handling and less fat storage. Instead of eliminating carbs completely, which tanks your thyroid and makes you miserable, we're going to time them more strategically. On strength training days, eat 1 to 1.5 grams of carbs per pound of body weight. Time most of your carbs around your workout, both before and after, and focus on glucose-based carbs like white rice, potatoes, or dextrose post-workout. On non-training days, keep your carbs lower to about maybe 0.5 gram per pound of body weight. Focus on fibrous carbs and vegetables, and save any starchy carbs for dinner to support sleep. This will work because you're matching carb intake to insulin sensitivity. Your muscles are most insulin sensitive right after training, so that's when carbs are least likely to be stored as fat. Chronic inflammation is like having a slow leak in your tire. Everything works worse. Daily non-negotiables. This is what you should do. 2 to 3 grams of omega-3 fatty acids from fish oil or fatty fish. Shoot for at least 5 servings of colorful vegetables, 1 to 2 cups of green tea or matcha, and 15 to 20 minutes of direct sunlight because this reduces inflammatory markers. Things that you could add in as well would be 2 to 3 sessions of low intensity movement like walking, easy cycling. Also 1 to 2 sessions of stress reduction activities like meditation, yoga, massage. And do 1 full day with minimal processed foods. Another thing many people don't link to belly fat is sleep. Poor sleep is like pouring gasoline on the belly fat fire. Because when you don't sleep well, ghrelin, your hunger hormone, goes up, and leptin, your satiety hormone, goes down, and insulin sensitivity plummets. There is nothing I am telling you here that you probably haven't heard already, but try to develop some good bedtime habits, such as same bedtime and wake up time every day, yes, including weekends. Lower the temperature between 65 to 68 degrees when you sleep. And do complete darkness, blackout curtains or sleep mask if you really struggle and have challenges with sleep. And get off your phone and TV about an hour before bed. Magnesium glycinate, about 400 milligrams, can really help before bed if you struggle with sleep. But as always, you should consult with your doctor before beginning any new supplements. So this isn't about eating less. It's about eating smarter. Your goal is to support hormone production while maintaining a moderate, the key word here is moderate, calorie deficit. So daily structure would look something like this. Protein at every meal. Aim for approximately 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Healthy fats with each meal, because this helps to support hormone production. Vegetables at lunch and dinner, because that's going to give you the fiber that you need for good gut health and satiety. And strategic carb timing, as I mentioned a few minutes ago. So a sample day for, let's say, a 150-pound woman would be breakfast, have 3 eggs as an omelet, throw some vegetables in there, maybe an avocado. For lunch, a large salad with 6 ounces of chicken, olive oil dressing, some berries. Pre-workout, apple with almond butter. Post-workout, a protein shake with banana and white rice. And dinner, 5 ounces of salmon with roasted vegetables and a sweet potato. So the results of doing these changes, what you can expect would be this. Around the first couple of weeks, you might actually gain 1 to 3 pounds because muscle glycogen and water can cause that. And this is actually good. So again, never get caught up on that number on the scale. Week 3 and 4, you'll see that your energy improves, your workouts get better, your sleep quality increases. Week 5 through 8, your clothes fit better. Strength starts to increase significantly. Weeks 9 through 12, visible changes in your body composition. Belly fat reduction becomes noticeable. And months 4 through 6, sustainable fat loss of about 1 to 2 pounds per month while building muscle. Again, that number on the scale is not the tell-all, so don't get focused on that. So here's the common mistakes that will kill your progress. We've talked about them, but let's zone in. Mistake number 1, doing too much cardio. More than 3 to 4 hours per week starts becoming counterproductive for hormone health. Mistake number 2, not eating enough protein. You need more protein after 40, not less. So aim for about 30 to 40 grams per meal. Mistake number 3, eliminating all carbs. Your thyroid needs carbs to function properly, and your workouts will suffer without them. Mistake number 4, weighing yourself daily. Focus on body composition changes, not scale weight. And mistake number 5, expecting linear progress. Fat loss after 40 happens in waves, not straight lines. All right, that's a wrap on today's Straight Talk with Abby. Look, I know this probably sounds completely backwards if you've been stuck in the cardio and restriction cycle for years, but I need you to understand something. Your belly fat isn't stubborn because you're not disciplined enough. It's stubborn because you've been following advice that works against your biology, not with it. Sarah, who I told you about earlier, she's now 6 months in, eating 400 more calories than when we started, and she's lost 3 inches off of her waist. And that's what happens when you stop fighting your hormones and start supporting them instead. If you found value in today's episode, please make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more real talk about what actually works after 40. No gimmicks, no quick fixes, just science-based strategies for people who are tired of spinning their wheels. And I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment. Tell me how long you've been stuck in the endless cardio and low-calorie trap. Let's figure out your next move together. And I'll see you next week for another episode of Straight Talk with Abby. Thanks for listening to Straight Talk with Abby. If this episode hit you where you needed it, here's what I want you to do. First, share this with someone who needs to hear it. Transformation is contagious, and you never know who's waiting for exactly this message. Second, if you're ready to stop starting over and start becoming the unstoppable version of yourself, I've got something for you. My audiobook, Your Breakthrough Era, Unstoppable Starts Here, is now available on Audible, iTunes, and Amazon. It's the deeper dive into everything we talk about here. And if you're ready to go all in on your fitness transformation, check out my program, Unstoppable 2.0, my 12-week program that combines fitness, mindset, and identity work to help you become who you're meant to be. You can find all the details at yourfitnesscheck.com. Remember, your breakthrough era doesn't start when you feel ready. It starts when you decide you're ready. I'll see you next time for more Straight Talk. Until then, keep breaking through.